Hello, my friends, and happy Saturday morning. We slept in this morning, and gosh, it was wonderful. I know 7:30 is probably not sleeping into a lot of people, but it is for us because we generally get up between 5 and 5:30. So that's a whole extra 2 hours, and man, it is wonderful on Saturdays. Yesterday I had yet another snow day. Everything here was covered in ice, the roads, the cars, everything. So I had a snow day and I was very productive with my day. Kept busy doing a little more decluttering, just a little bit. Got my whole house clean, did my weekly cleaning. What else? What else did I do yesterday? Got dinner made and bread made. Made a loaf of bread for dinner because I had already made my bread for the week the day before. And finally got my apron made that I've been wanting to get made. I have had the fabric forever. So sewed that. I have a little more sewing to do today. I have some mending to do, couple things of Doug's, and I have a pillow thing to make for my sister. So I'm going to do that today. My knee is really bothering me, my right knee. I struggled through my workout with it yesterday, so I think today I'm going to take a day of rest, and probably tomorrow too, from any running or HIIT training. I'll probably do some yoga and some stretching, definitely today, and just maybe some easy walking. But I like to definitely keep moving, especially with the stretching. I found that at my age, I need to do some major stretching every day, and it really helps. So that's about it. I have a couple craft things I need to work on. Let's see if I'll get to those. We're going to 5 o'clock mass today. And I think we're supposed to have barbecue chicken. Well, there's ice and snow everywhere. So I think I'm going to just take it easy on myself and we may get takeout. I don't know. I'll see what the day brings and see what I decide on doing. So that's that, but I'm hungry. I'm going to go get my tea made and get I'm not going to make breakfast because it's Saturday, unless Doug wants something different. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to go do that and see you soon. Almost forgot to film. Breakfast this morning is 2 eggs over light for 0 points on blue and purple, 4 points on green, 3 points worth of bacon. And then I have 2 slices of homemade bread. That's 4 points with 0 points worth of butter, like the slightest little slathering. And that's breakfast this morning. Whew, it is beautiful out today. It is 32 degrees. It's sad that that's beautiful, but it is. The sun is shining and there's not really much wind. And for once in about a week, it's not either snowing or raining or icing. So we decided to get out in the fresh air and take the dog for a walk because, like I said, it is 32 degrees. So it is feeling warm out here. I know that's crazy, but you got to take advantage of it when you can. I've got on leggings and jeans and socks and boots and a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt and hoodie and a winter coat and hat and gloves. And I'm still cold. But that's okay. I'm always cold. So we are going to just probably go for a couple miles and see what's what in the neighborhood and tire out Aria and ourselves a little bit before we have to go home and start getting ready for church. I finished my sewing. Oh, I want to show you something. Hold on. So 2 blocks down from our house, one of our neighbors built one of these little libraries. Isn't that adorable? The little freelibrary.org. Take a book, share a book. And there's all kind of fun books in there. There's adult books and kid books and all kind of books in there. And I have come down here and borrowed books and then brought them back when I was done. There's a couple I'm looking at right now for the kids, for the babies. So on the way back, I may just stop and borrow a few and then bring them back. I've also donated books down here for her too. So it's a really, really cool little thing right down the street from my house. And yeah, so I live in a nice little neighborhood. Got my sewing done. My sister's pillow, and I fixed Doug's mending. He had a pair of long underwear, and you know, Doug, we're very frugal people. There's a car waiting to cross, so I'm gonna run. We're very frugal people, and the only thing wrong with Doug's long underwear was that the cuff was coming off at the bottom a little bit. So I just sewed it up. Good as new, can't even tell. So that's that. I'm gonna get back to my walk and back to a lovely conversation with my honey. And that's that. I'll be back later on. Okay, walking back, not so fun. Oh my goodness. Walking against the wind. It's really cold. I think my face is frozen. And we are about 1.5 miles away from home. So it was great walking out because the wind was to our back. We were flying. It was warm. Now, not so much. So this being 2021, you know, you always have an extra mask in your pocket. Guess what? Comes in really handy to keep your face warm. So yeah, works out pretty darn good. Whew. We are beat. I mean, we only walked 2.5 miles, but home it was against the wind. And boy, it was chilly. My face was freezing. But man, let me tell you, putting that mask on, that was a stroke of genius. Doug had one too, so we both had them on. I mean, I'm sure people were like, what are these people doing walking by themselves outside with masks on? But I don't care. It kept me warm. So we did 2.51 miles. I don't think we intended to go quite that far because it was so cold out, but we did. So now we've got about 20 minutes or so before we have to start getting ready for church. Take a nice hot shower, wash my hair, get ready. And I'm still toying with dinner. I don't know if I want to cook something or if I want to order out. I have to drive over my sister's after church and drop something off on her porch. So by the time we get home, it's going to be almost 7, probably. I'm guessing we're going to order out, which is fine. I don't mind ordering out 1 day a week as long as I have the points for it and all that fun stuff. So we will see. You'll find out when I do. We are home from church and have dinner. We decided on pizza for tonight. So I have a slice of broccoli pizza. I give it 9 points, and I'll probably have 2, to be honest with you, for 18 points. So I will use 6 of my weeklies. Sunday morning, my friends As you can see, I am up and I made some bread. I have a friend coming to pick up something off my porch, and I wanted to gift her with a loaf of bread, and my niece is coming to pick some stuff up, and I wanted to gift her with a loaf of bread. So I just made a quick peasant bread this morning, peasant bread dough, and that's rising. So it has to rise and then punch down, rise again, bake, and cool. So I wanted to get that done nice and early so it's all ready when they both come to pick up their stuff. What else? I completely forgot last night to close out my video. I fell asleep on the couch watching television. Yeah, not surprised. I ended up eating 2 slices of pizza. Oh my gosh, it was so good, so good. So I ended up using like 6 weekly points last night, and I'm fine with that. That's what they're there for. Today will be kind of a pushing the high point day. We have a high point dinner going on. The Mississippi pot roast is a little bit high in points. Actually, probably won't be too bad. Like my whole dinner will probably be between 10 and 12 points, and that's usually what I spend anyway. Breakfast will be a little bit high. We're having a sourdough breakfast pizza. Basically, it's the same breakfast pizza I make that I have the recipe linked below and on my website. I'm just going to use a sourdough crust because I have sourdough, lots of it. I have lots of starter. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, my jar is almost completely filled, so I need to use some of that. Now, I have had so many people ask about making a sourdough starter, so I am going to start today filming for 8 days, so you won't see the video for, a week, how to start a sourdough starter. So I will have another sourdough starter going. I'll have to find someone to gift it to. So I will start filming that today, and I'm going to use the method I used this time because it was no fail for me. I have tried in the past and I have failed. This one worked perfectly, so that's the one I'm going to use. Anyway, I need to go and get the bread making cleaned up, and probably should put some makeup on this face and get my day started. So I will be back, and maybe I'll show you the bread. Although I did link the recipe for the peasant bread up there and down there. It's the easiest bread you will ever make. No kneading, no shaping. If you're new to bread making, start with this one. Okay, while my cast iron skillet is preheating and while the bread is rising, I'm going to get my dinner going in the crock pot. I've got a chuck roast and a 1/4 cup of water in here. This is for the Mississippi pot roast. You can also do this in the Instant Pot. We prefer it in the crock pot. So that's just personal taste. So the first thing I'm going to do is sprinkle some ranch seasoning over the top. I use a homemade blend, and I'm going to give it about, I don't know, tablespoon or so. You're supposed to use 1 packet of ranch. So I'm going to use about a tablespoon. And then you need some au jus. I also make my own of this, but I had a pack laying around and waste not, want not. So I'm just going to use this, but I do prefer to use a homemade mix. But I don't want to waste, so. And then we're going to use some pepperoncini peppers, about 5 or 6. And I'm just going to place them around or on the roast. These are a little bit small, so maybe I'll definitely use 6. There's a big one. And these just give it a really, really nice flavor. And what I like to do is I like to take a little bit of the pepperoncini juice. Not a lot. Just maybe a tablespoon or so. and add it to the water just for more flavor. And then the original recipe calls for 1/4 cup of butter. I'm just going to use about a tablespoon of butter, and I just use real butter because this serves like 8 or 9 people. And that is it. I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to cook it on low for 8 hours. Okay, now it's time to get breakfast started. So I heated my cast iron skillet in a 425-degree oven. I just put it in there and preheated the oven to 425. And I'm just going to use about a teaspoon of olive oil. And then I'm using my big 12-inch skillet. So I'm going to use about 2 cups of sourdough starter. I'm going to put it right into the skillet. And just push it around. Little hunk of flour there. And as you can see, it is already starting to cook because it is that hot. And now I am just going to pop this back into the oven for about 8 minutes while I prepare the toppings. And then we'll put the toppings on and we'll bake it again. But first I'm going to give it a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. Now, if this was going to be like an Italian style regular pizza, I would do like some Italian seasoning, some garlic, some oregano, whatever. But since this is a breakfast pizza, we're just going to do salt and pepper. And I don't know if you can see how hot the skillet is, and it's already beginning to cook. So we're going to pop that back into the oven for about 8 minutes. So to start my pizza topping, I just have eggs in a bowl. I used 5 because, you know, on blue, the eggs are 0 points. You might want to use less if you're on green, but I want it nice and eggy. So I have 5 eggs that I beat in a bowl with 1/4 cup of milk. And now I'm going to cook those up to a very soft set. You can put them right on the crust and bake them in the oven, but I don't know. I like to cook them to a soft set just so they get that little head start. So I'm going to do that, and then it's going to be time to top our pizza. Okay, so the crust has par baked a little bit. I think next time I won't use, this is my 12-inch skillet. I don't think I'll use 2 cups because it's a little thick for me. But live and learn. Now I've got 3/4 of a cup of part skim mozzarella. Shred it. I'm just going to put a little bit of it over the crust. And then I have some Canadian bacon that I chopped up. Normally I would use 4 pieces. There were 6 left in the pack, and I didn't want 2 hanging around, so I just used it all. I'm going to put that down. Okay, that is a lot of Canadian bacon. And it doesn't change the points, so. And now we've got our eggs. They got a little bit more cooked than I wanted them to. I'll spread them out once I get them in there. Now you can also just break eggs right onto this. You don't have to scramble them and cook them that way. And then we're going to finish it off with some Cabot cheese. This is the 75% reduced fat cheddar. And then a little bit more mozzarella. Now we're gonna pop that back into the oven for about, I guess, I don't know, 10 to 12 minutes. I'll just keep an eye on it. And make sure you don't grab the handle because this is a hot skillet. So we're gonna pop that back in and see what it looks like when it comes out. And here is our breakfast pizza out of the oven. I am going to cut it into 6 portions. And I have to look, I think it is 5 points on blue, 5 points on purple, and 6 points on green, maybe? You know, I'll put it up on the screen. So I am going to go enjoy this because my stomach's growling a little bit. And I think I will serve it with a side of Cara orange. Okay, as you can see, the dough rose beautifully. Now I'm just gonna take 2 forks, punch the dough down with the forks, and divide it in 2. Just like Moses parted the Red Sea, you gotta part your dough. Now, the recipe calls to cook these in oven-proof bowls, which I always do. I'm gonna try something a little different today. I'm going to try it in loaf pans, and I really hope it works out since these are being gifted. You just take half of the dough, plop it in your greased bowl, 1-quart bowl, in my case, small loaf pan. This is an 8.5 by 4. Hope it works. I don't know why I mess with stuff when I'm giving it away. Why don't I just do it the way I know it comes out perfectly? Why? My cameraman's laughing at me because he knows this is the kind of crap I do. Okay, so now I'm going to put it back in my warm spot and let the second rise happen for 45 minutes. I'm not gonna cover it this time because I know when I do it in the bowl, it comes up to the very top of the bowl and I don't want anything, I don't want it to touch anything because I don't want, like if I put plastic on it, when I pull the plastic off, I don't want it to deflate the dough. So I'm just gonna put it in like this. And when it's a quick rise, like a 45-minute, you don't really need to cover it. It's not going to dry out in 45 minutes. Now, if this was like sourdough where it's going to be rising for hours, then of course cover it. And you've heard me talk about my hack before for making a proofing drawer when you don't have a proofing drawer. I turn my oven on to like 150, sometimes 200 degrees for 1 to 1.5 minutes, depending on how cold it is. And then turn it right off. So it doesn't really get hot. It doesn't really preheat. It only gets up to like maybe 102. And I turn it right off and it just makes it a little bit warm and it makes things rise really, really well. But that I have that little hack in the recipe that I will link. So I'm gonna pop this in and let it rise. Guess what? More decluttering. It is time to clean out this sock drawer. It did not look this bad until I started rifling through it, but these socks, I cannot tell you the last time I wore any of them. These are all I ever wear, are the little no-show fun socks. I haven't worn these socks in forever because they bother me, so they're going. I am getting rid of them. Okay, so a task I have been putting off for months took me like 15 minutes. It is done. I got rid of about 25 pair of socks that I have not had on my feet in 2 years. So there we go. All done. Nice and organized. And nice and empty. I think the underwear drawer next. This actually isn't very horrible. It'll only take me a minute or two to straighten this up a little bit and maybe I can declutter. Because I will admit, I have 62 pair of Victoria's Secret underwear. Yeah, I know, excessive. I know. I should probably get rid of some. Okay, my goal is to get rid of 10 pair. Success. Took 5 minutes. Got rid of about 12 pair. Success. Just having a little bit of a light lunch while I'm still cleaning out some dresser drawers. I have a half a cup of cottage cheese. I think that's 2 points on all plans. And some crushed pineapple for 0 points. Think the life of a YouTuber is all fun and games? Yeah, not at tax time, it's not. Oh, that's only about half the receipts. And yeah, God bless my husband, because I'd be lost. And dinner is served. It is the Mississippi pot roast. I have 4 ounces, and I'm going to give that 8 points. I have 3/4 cup of mashed potatoes, 1 point on purple, 3 points on blue, 3 points on green. And then I have roasted carrots. I have never roasted carrots before, and oh my word, I will never make carrots any other way again. They are so good. I'm gonna give these a point, even though they're probably not. I did use on the whole tray, I used 2 teaspoons of olive oil. Probably could have used 1 teaspoon. But I'll throw a point at them. So tonight, Sunday dinner is 12 points. So friends, this weekend is a wrap for me. Dinner was delicious. It was just such comfort food. Oh, I love Mississippi roast, and it was worth every stinking point. It was. It was delicious, and I'm very full. Those carrots, oh, yeah. I want them every night now for dinner. We'll probably have them again very soon. That's it. I'm going to get this video uploaded and edit it and just call it a night. I don't know. Doug's still working on taxes. I think he's almost done. We're going to have a friend of ours who is an accountant look them over and just make sure there are no mistakes. This is the first time we've ever done them ourselves. We went to the same accountant for 30 years and then had a little issue in 2019. Used a different accountant last year, and the amount of money that he charged us was just insane. So I called my girlfriend who's the accountant, and she's like, you can do it yourself. She gave us a website. She's like, don't use TurboTax, use Free Tax USA. It's great, she said, and then once you're done, I'll look over it for you and make sure it's right. She said it's a skill you need to learn, so just do it. So we're trying it, and I feel better that she's looking over it for us, because that's what she does. She does taxes, so she works for a corporation. So I just feel better that she's doing, that she'll be looking over it. Not that I don't trust Doug, but he just said he doesn't trust him. It's just we've never done it before. And, we've got, like, stuff with the boys' college and my YouTube stuff, and it can get just a little bit complicated. So, yeah. So he's finishing that up, and I will probably just wait till 7:30. The Flyers are on, and they're playing outside tonight. Like, how stinking cool is that? They were originally supposed to play at 2 o'clock, but the conditions, yesterday there was an outside game at 2 o'clock, and the ice was a hot mess because it was too warm. And they had to keep patching the ice, and the conditions were horrible. So they moved the Flyers game. They're playing the Bruins. They moved that to 7:30, so no beating sun on the ice and things like that. So we're really excited to watch our Flyers play outside tonight. So that's what we are going to do. And tomorrow's Monday. And oh my gosh, we are supposed to have such nice weather this week. It is not supposed to be below freezing all week. And I think we're like supposed to almost reach 60 on Wednesday. Far cry from last week. So hopefully that means I'll get in a full week of work. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you so much for spending some time with me and hanging out with me on my weekend. I know it's kind of boring. We haven't done much, but that's how it is. I am hoping, well, next weekend, we don't really have anything planned. We'll probably do 5 o'clock mass, and then next Sunday is fourth Sunday at church, and they're every fourth Sunday they used to do it in person, make sandwiches for the homeless and casseroles for a soup kitchen, but now they don't do it in person because of COVID, so we do it at home, and then we take the food over to the church for drop off at 11 a.m. So next Sunday morning we'll be up and we will be making sandwiches. Turkey and cheese, I believe we're going to be making here. And then we wrap them, we mark them, and then we drop them off at the church. I'm going to see, I'm going to try to get a casserole in there too. And I also have some donations. One of the women who is in charge of this, she does a lot with the homeless, and I have socks and stuff like that to give her. So that's next Sunday. So I'll show you the process, and that's about it. Yeah. Who knows? I want to get down to the Mount and see the boys. I really, really want to. I'm really, really missing them. So I would love like just a little quick afternoon visit with them, just to say hi. So maybe the following weekend. I'm not sure yet. I have to see what they're doing. I know in the middle of March, Andrew goes to South Carolina for a Shamrock Invitational track meet, but no spectators. So, I mean, not that we could take off in the middle of the week and go down to South Carolina, but we could if we flew probably. I could take a couple days off, but I'm not really wanting to fly right now, and I really don't want to do any interstate travel. So I'm nervous enough with him going. So I don't know. We'll figure out when we can do that. But I need to see my boys. So thanks again for spending some time with me. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. And I will see you all hopefully for a full day of eating tomorrow. I have a full house with 5 little guys. So I'll try my best. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.